COVID-19 pandemic chronology video for today. Thursday, 9 March 2023. I got 3 updates. First, I wrote and published on Wikipedia, focusing on page curation on the English Wikipedia article for Matteo Lamberti, which is a page that new article I created on English Wikipedia. So I've done some curation. I have more to do. And I am also, I think there were 2, I was going to also go back today. So I've already contributed some stuff in relation to birthplace and category related to that. I also have results from a 2023 competition that I want to put on the article. Kind of like, I consider putting like sometimes these not so high profile events like internationally or globally, at least currently, on the article to kind of like show they're still competing, they're like quote unquote still alive. So I had found a reference for one of those, so putting that on the article. I did a little cleanup. Somebody changed the height to say something other than what the reference for the height said, so I cleaned that up, that kind of thing. But I need to add, or I have this article for this competition, which is 2023 if I'm recalling correctly, but as a point being, it was 2023. It was a second edition of a night swim cup or something like so. It was conducted at night, something like that. So I have more to. Point being, I have more to add, so I'm not done there yet. And then I also potentially addressing taking my page back, Roos van Aarderdijk, after somebody came through and just started like removing information and not providing references and just being like, this is wrong, I don't have to provide a reference. This person wasn't even born in Belgium, but like they just remove it and then say, you're wrong, that reference is wrong, that reference isn't a reference. And it's just like when it was legitimately references. So it's step by step trying to take the page back. So updating the article talk page, because this person kind of alludes to, they think Roos van Aarderdijk. I mean, it's just, I'm guessing it's just vandalism, right? This person, I put a citation needed for the country of birth being Belgium, and they didn't even procure anything. So I'm kind of like, okay. So this person's just a liar. Putting like on my talk page, the talk page for my users page, it kind of sounds like they think Roos van Aarderdijk might be born in the Netherlands, so they need to provide a reference for that because they still have not done that. So for all we know, maybe Roos van Aarderdijk was born in Norway. So I'm just kind of opening it up to anybody to add a reference. And then the next step would be updating my user talk page, removing the section because I've incorporated kind of the feedback that this person put on my user talk page into the article and corresponding talk page. And then that's not today, but like a few days from now. And then removing the section a few days after that, and then somewhere down the road putting a background section with like her club information, so Roos van Aarderdijk, and so that if somebody does find a reference for the birthplace, they don't have to put it in the info box, having more than one place where they can put the information, kind of thing. So thinking about how to make it easier for others to contribute to the article. And this vandalizer is very hostile, so trying to neutralize their hostility, being like, I welcome you, this other person doesn't, right? Others attack everybody. I don't, right? And so trying to make it a welcoming environment, so that somebody doesn't have to edit in one place and only one place. They can have multiple options. So starting down that path, possibly, I have written out, and I wrote out like last month or in the month before. This is stuff that I've been sitting on, reworking, and today might be a fit to start on the multi-step process, but we'll see. Yesterday I did finish the Claire Curzon stuff. So it took me 3 days. My multi-day project on the Claire Curzon English Wikipedia article took 3 days. And then there was one more for today. Maxime Grousset putting in the 2021 World Short Course Championships, which he competed at on his page. So that's my first update. Second update, John Dale, my cousin John Dale, who lives in Idaho, departed back to Idaho. It was fun having him here. He's always a joy to have over and hear what's kind of going on with him and in Idaho, which can be a bit different than here. Sometimes it's similar. It can be more extreme in like more than one way, like not necessarily like one pendulum swing one way. Like there's a lot of diversity in that state in terms of what kind of goes on within the state, but then also like sometimes there is overlap with what happens here. So that's kind of interesting to get what are the commonalities or invariants, what are the things that are the same, kind of what's going on in King County, Washington State, and in Idaho. And so the second update. Third update, sweet and savory eats. So I mentioned my car insurance was about $100 left, and I have a little bit of like Christmas money I can spend on sweet and savory eats, but also saving most of it for car insurance, which I've already paid for my March bill. So the next time is September, but I paid it in February this year. So the point being, and I do make $30 approximately every 2 weeks, but that goes towards car insurance mostly. But there's some wiggle room. I might be able to eat a donut that costs $1 or something, and I make $30 every 2 weeks. Like I can potentially put a donut in. I think the biggest change is my parents decided to claim me as a dependent this year on taxes, and in letting them do so, they've decided if they got any money back, they're gonna give it to me, which sounds like it might be a few $100s. So I might, in addition to like maybe say approximately $100 from like Christmas money that I kind of put towards this channel, and the $100 that I didn't have to spend on car insurance, there might be a few $100 more dollars. So I have come up with kind of a list of sweet and savory eats ideas that could potentially depend. It's like including some of the things I've already done. It's like 3 pages, and I've already done some of it, so there might be like a page of it kind of like already done, checked off kind of thing. But with that kind of money, a few $100s, I might be able to do some savory eats. But the first thing kind of on my radar, so I haven't got that money, the tax money, and stuff could go wrong, could end up getting no money back. Maybe I get half of the money back, or like the parents keep half of it, or maybe I get the full amount. Point being, I've looked at kind of my sweet and savory eats, and I have my Monopoly scheme is go to 8 grocery stores in this area. So this is the first kind of like thing that I might be able to like kind of cross off, is go to 8 grocery stores in my area and get something sweet from each of those. So do like a sweet eats. So I've done that for Central Market, which started rebranding in 2021, and then rebranded at the Shoreline location in 2022. And in store, their packaging still says Central Market instead of Town and Country Markets. So it's still rebranding. It's started rebranding in 2021, and it's 2023, and they're not fully rebranded. So multi-year, on year 3 of rebranding. But I did a caramel apple spice cake slice. I did Safeway, the Safeway bakery. I did a Bavarian cream donut. Trader Joe's, I did a Trader Joe's dark chocolate sunflower seed butter cup, package of 2, in addition to a Trader Joe's salad. But the sweet eats was the cups. From Fred Meyer, I got a cinnamon roll, and from PCC Community Markets, I did a vegan ginger snap cookie, in addition to some hot food items. But that's a savory, so kind of like Trader Joe's, I have a more than one thing, but that was one video. So that's 5 like grocery stores that I've been to. I have 3 more that I want to do. I have QFC, which is another regional grocery chain, which I think they have locations in like Oregon too. And then I have Hagen, which is a Washington State, at least currently, grocery store. So that's like, it's local, but it's like regional too. And then the third one is Whole Foods. We don't have that many Whole Foods in Washington State, but there are Whole Foods. So maybe doing a sweet eats at each of those. And that would actually be the first kind of like, if I had to come up with something, I wouldn't add grocery stores to that, right? Those are the ones that I have gone to at some point in my life, right? Like as like, for maybe from Whole Foods, like gluten-free bread or bagels or English wrappers. Like they're like, I have at some point in my life frequented each of these, even if not frequently. They've been kind of part of my history. So doing a sweet eats for these locations with something that was like made there, as opposed to, I've done like for QFC, I've done Top Pot donuts in ice cream sandwiches and stuff, but I haven't done like QFC bakery item kind of thing. So getting that for each of these 8 grocery stores that have played a role in my life. And like Hagen, I think, bought out Top Food and Drug, which used to be a thing. So like I can't go to Top Food and Drug, but I can go to Hagen, which I also went to Hagen growing up. So like now it's like one thing. But so yeah, that is kind of wrapping up at least one thing for each of those grocery stores, which I might do. If I'm feeling ambitious, I might do this weekend, go get like a bakery item from each place, or 2 bakery items. So yeah, those are some of them. And then I have a list of other things to get and other places to go, or like some of the stuff might be completely new, some of it might be returning to a place I've already been. So like if I did go to Dick's Drive-In, for example, I already have a video from Dick's Drive-In from like 2020 or 2021 on this channel, but I didn't show myself eating the food. I have quite a few of those where I show food on it in videos, but I don't actually eat the thing. So returning to that, or like the Tillamook Creamery. So Tillamook is a Oregon brand based out of Tillamook, Oregon. And I went to the creamery growing up, and it was like, I used to eat the cheese a lot, Tillamook cheese, like when I've been living here during the pandemic. And on 4 May 2020, so almost 3 years ago, I wrote and published a Yelp review, a review on Yelp. So it's date stamped and everything. And I thought about doing I should do like eat a Tillamook product. I eat their cheese all the time, but I haven't actually gotten around to eating something. So like being like, maybe I should go eat something. This is a brand I grew up with. I live in Washington State, was raised in Washington State. Tillamook is a Pacific Northwest thing. Brand by Origins, and so it was part of my childhood. And we even went to the creamery because like you know, we would go to Oregon sometimes, like it's our neighbors to the south, kind of. And so supporting local, regional creamery. So yeah, so stuff like that. So some of it's like brands I could get from a store, or some of it's going to like maybe Dick's Drive-In or Ray's Drive-In, someplace I haven't been, Ray's Drive-In in Everett, that kind of stuff. So potentially more coming at you, and I have ideas. Just the biggest issue once I have financing is making sure I don't pack on the pounds. So it won't all be at once. It might be a little bit spread out, I guess is what I'm trying to say. So those are my updates for today. Happy Thursday as of filming this. Thursday, 9 March 2023 as of filming this, in the city of Shoreline, King County, Washington State, United States of America, planet Earth, the original.